Alrighty, everyone. Good evening. This is meteorologist Timmy Albertson here at the Guys for tonight's weather chat. Hey, just as a quick little update, there will not be a weather chat for tomorrow night nor Monday night, but otherwise everything will remain as the same. With that in mind, hey, we had Hurricane Norma really intensify even more so this morning. She was a Category 4 hurricane. However, she has since kind of weakened off just a little bit. So let's take a look here at Norma, and we can see that the eye has kind of filled in now a little bit, and the system is starting to get a little bit of a wind shear that's taking its toll on it here. So that's kind of causing it to become a little less organized. Nonetheless, she is still a high-end Category 3 hurricane, winds of 125 miles an hour. However, she's likely going to continue to weaken as we go through the overnight tonight and heading into the day tomorrow, but still probably maintaining hurricane status by the time we get towards Saturday afternoon. And it'll likely by that point try to maybe kind of graze across the southern Baja Peninsula before eventually running into mainland Mexico, albeit in a much weaker state, mainly just bringing some rain across some of those areas there. So really, all things considered, Norma had kind of reached her peak about 130 miles an hour earlier on this afternoon, but again has since kind of beginning to weaken. Let's put it for you that way there. And it's not likely that we're going to see it maybe re-intensify here, just based on the atmospheric conditions. Now, we also have Tammy out in the Atlantic Ocean. Tammy was a tropical storm last night, and it is still a tropical storm at this hour. Now, unlike Norma, which rapidly intensified, Tammy here is having a little bit of problem again with some wind shear. That actually seems to be the trend with the past couple of tropical systems we've had down here. But regardless, it is moving over some very warm ocean temperatures. And it's very likely here that Tammy is going to continue to intensify, albeit maybe not as quickly as what we saw Norma go from a tropical storm into a Category 4 hurricane, really in about 36 hours or so. Or about 48 hours, I guess I should say. But regardless of the fact, probably not going to see that rapid of intensification, at least right now, with Tammy. And again, part of the reason for that is it's in an environment with a lot of wind shear. Now, again, if you're a tropical system, you don't really want a lot of wind shear. That is not necessarily good news for you, and it does kind of mess with the structure overall. Regardless, though, as she works her way towards the northern Lesser Antilles later on this weekend, could very well become a hurricane by that point. Now, right now, it's not expected that Tammy will reach major hurricane status, but again, that could change. We're still looking a little far out by the time we get up to hurricane intensity, and really right now, it's not too far away from that, at least in terms of numbers. If we look at the old Saffir-Simpson wind scale here, again, we talk about hurricanes and everything. 60-mile-an-hour winds is kind of above the middle for the tropical storm force winds. That's that blue color you see down there, 39 to 73-mile-an-hour winds. Once it gets above that, it becomes a hurricane. So not necessarily too far away from getting that rating, and it probably will do so. But as mentioned, Tammy's intensification is probably going to be just a little bit slower than what we saw with Norma's. Now, again, it is likely then going to kind of continue to stay as a hurricane as we go into next week. So that will also be pretty interesting to keep an eye on here. So with that in mind, folks, that's a look at least at the immediate tropics. That's kind of the most activity that we got going on, at least in the near term here. Is again, we got Norma, but again, Norma is going to be on a weakening trend, and Tammy here is probably just going to gradually intensify over the next couple of days. Let's go ahead here. We'll take a little bit more of a look over at Tammy's track here. And then we'll take a look at the weather map and everything else. But let's go ahead here and we'll zoom on over to the forecast track here for Tammy. And again, staying as a tropical storm, maybe eventually becoming, again, that Category 1 hurricane north of St. John's, and then back out into the open waters where it probably, it's going to be in the open water, so it won't be close to land. But again, it will try to maybe intensify a little bit more there. Again, right now they're keeping it down as a Category 1 hurricane for most of its life here. But we'll just have to see what happens over the weekend. Maybe it might try to get a little bit stronger. Again, it is going to be over some very warm ocean temperatures over the next few days here, but it's going to be competing with that wind shear. All right, let's take a look here. Latest weather map. There's our area of low pressure helping to bring some rain showers across parts of the Great Lakes. A little bit of a rainy one across Ohio and Michigan. We had some rain up here earlier on today, but again, a lot of that has since moved out. Behind it, things pretty quiet. We're not really seeing much in the way of precipitation out across the central part of the U.S. A little bit of ridging actually happening. We got this little area of low pressure that is trying to track its way over Vancouver, and we'll have to kind of watch and see what that does over the next few days. But all things considered, pretty quiet out there on the radar. Not a whole lot to go over this evening here. And again, as mentioned, that's pretty much about it really right now. So again, no weather chat tomorrow night or Monday night. We don't normally do them on the weekends either. But again, everything else will be pretty steady there as well. So I hope you all have a good rest of your evening. I know it was a little bit of a quick one, but that's just the way things kind of shape out. I look forward to seeing you guys back here at the next weather chat. Take care, everyone, and have yourself a good weekend and keep enjoying the weather.